All right, time for a look back at this day in history and the dawn of the self-service grocery store, because it was back in 1916 when Clarence Saunders, the son of a Virginia tobacco farmer, opened the first of his Piggly Wiggly markets. Now, the idea, as the legend goes, came to Saunders when he was a teenager working as a salesman for a wholesale grocer, where he learned just how razor-thin profit margins were in the industry. Remember, stores back then, they were incredibly labor-intensive. All items were kept behind counters and in stock rooms, and that meant you needed multiple clerks to take customers' orders and retrieve them. Saunders thought, well, what if all the products were within arm's reach? Customers just grabbed what they wanted themselves. That would lower the store's labor costs and, in turn, lower prices for shoppers. The Boston Globe magazine back in 1918 said that the buyer pays for the things he buys, not for the salaries of the clerks, delivery wagons, and gasoline, and all the other expenses of the average store. It was a hit. Within 6 years, there were 1,200 Piggly Wiggly stores across 40 U.S. states. But things were about to go bizarrely wrong. Piggly Wiggly stock started trading in 1920 and by 1922 had become what we would consider today a meme stock, though kind of the flip side of what we saw with names like GameStop. I'll keep this simple. Individual retail traders, skeptical of the company's rapid growth, began shorting the shares. To protect the price, Saunders hired notorious trader Jesse Livermore to help buy up over half of the float of the stock, basically trying to corner the market. And while there was no Reddit forum around at the time to pump the shares up, Saunders did take out newspaper ads that exclaimed opportunity, opportunity, opportunity at Knox, trying to drum up additional market support. It was a head-to-head battle, and it pushed the stock up 50% to $60 a share in early 1923, and then from there doubling it in less than 2 months to $124. But that frenzy, it did force the New York Stock Exchange to shut it all down, indefinitely suspending trading. And because Saunders had used debt to make most of his stock purchases, he found himself stuck and eventually penniless. Saunders lost control of Piggly Wiggly as a result, but his legacy does live on. An illustration of his 1917 patent application for a self-serve store, that's pretty much the blueprint for all the modern supermarkets that we see today. And the Piggly Wiggly brand itself, it's still around. About 500 independently run stores operating across at least a dozen U.S. states.